It is genuinely impossible to open this video talking about Dark Souls in a way that hasn't been done before. This game has been talked about over and over and over and over again to the point where this very sentence has likely been said by another person and I don't even know about it. Needless to say, this task is Sisyphean in nature. So instead of introducing this video with Dark Souls, let's talk about the myth of Sisyphus, both the tale and the philosophy book. Most people know that Sisyphus is the guy that rolls the boulder up the hill, but I feel that not many people know why that was his sentence. Sisyphus was a rather cruel Greek king. He was a tyrant who killed whomever he pleased and he took pleasure in it. This included his own family, by the way. Not only was he cruel, but he was incredibly smart and a spectacular deceiver. One day, he made a deal with a god to make his kingdom's land more fertile and prosperous. This ended up angering Zeus because reasons, and he sent Thanatos, the god of death, to bring Sisyphus to hell. When Thanatos shows up, Sisyphus asks how his chains work and managed to get him to demonstrate, which he uses as an opportunity to trap Thanatos in his own chains and escape death. Some argue that this was to prevent death from happening and to make the world a better place, but he was just looking out for himself here, let's be real. Thanatos eventually got bailed out by Ares, so wars can be fun again though, don't worry. Next, right before he died of old age, he asked his wife to present his corpse on a fountain as a way of honoring him. Upon reaching the shore of the river Styx, Sisyphus convinces Persephone to allow him to briefly go back to the land of the living because his wife disrespected his corpse and denied him a proper burial, so he wanted to go fix that. Persephone allows this, and he simply uses this as an opportunity to just not come back after he sorts out his whole corpse business. But once Zeus learned that he cheated death not once, but twice, he ordered Hermes to drag him to the underworld straight away and give him this punishment to carry or roll, depending on the interpretation, a boulder up a hill just to watch it fall down and get it back up there again, over and over. All of this is a twisted metaphor by Zeus to represent his effort to escape death. Futile, because in life, death is the only inevitability. However, to some, there's another way you can look at his punishment. And by some, I mean the French. Popularized by Albert Camus. Is it Camus? I don't fucking know. There's this idea that Sisyphus, despite his eternal torment of rolling a boulder up a hill just to see it roll back to the bottom, also he can repeat the process, is happy. He finds joy not in the goal but in the process, the boulder obviously being a metaphor for life here. In life, you should find joy in the journey and not the destination, because life isn't a story that will end once you reach the top of a hill. It keeps going and eventually the boulder will roll down and a new hill will be set for you to roll the boulder up. You should find joy not in the struggle, but in the effort you put in, and realizing how you got there rather than when you got there. And this message is perfectly reflected in Dark Souls. On a first playthrough, you will think everything everyone said about this game is true. It's difficult and unforgiving and you die to everything. But mostly gravity.
Uh-oh, I don't like this. Okay. Yep, okay.
And yeah, it can certainly be overwhelming. You're dropped in this world all alone, and the only guidance you get is that there are 2 bells somewhere that you have to ring. Have fun! You have no friends, no tutorials or yellow paint, no bitches— wait, that's the wrong game. The only thing you have to rely on is yourself. And because the game gives you nothing more than yourself to rely on, you're forced to learn to be more self-sufficient just by simply playing the game. When you kill a boss, that's your victory. When you find a chest, that's your discovery. When you get a sick weapon, that's your achievement. And I know what you're thinking. Probably because I've been stalking you, Tyler. Sure, you can summon other people and they can fight things for you. But that takes a valuable resource, and there's the counterbalance with humanity opening you up to invasions. So even then, things won't be all peaches and rainbows.
No! What the fuck? What the hell? I don't understand how this works!
Even then, you relied on materials you gathered. And if a message helps you out, it's still you doing the task. That's on you for actually doing it. And for actually trusting a message.
Illusory wall ahead? Bet. Motherfucker.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is the multiplayer aspect of this game helps you, but it still keeps you at arm's length, seeing as you still need to figure things out for yourself. But it's still brilliant because the system also encourages you to lend a helping hand to the stranger. so that kindness may be cast upon you the same way you cast it upon others. It is the perfect way to teach people not only to love one another, but love themselves as well, which is something I wish more people could learn. And thanks to the game having a world that is so big and open, but not to the point of overwhelming the player, same with the level progression and builds by the way, you learn to play to your strengths in your own way with the freedom the Kingdom of Lordran gives you. Speaking of relying on other people...
Oh, still human, are you?
It's not just other players who lend a helping hand. The many travelers, scholars, knights, and pilgrims you meet in Lordran will also teach you some valuable lessons, namely who to trust. Like, big surprise, the guy who greets you with a smile every time is way more trustworthy than the guy who maniacally laughs with every sentence. Now, this guy looks perfectly trustworthy. He would never betray. Oh man, I can't believe it. Oh man. That being said, despite some of the denizens being rather welcoming, something unexpected might happen and you might have to do something you don't want to. At first, this may seem like a lesson to simply trust no bitch, which can be valid in some cases. I take it as the lesson of, no matter how much you want to trust and rely on someone else, at the end of the day, you need to trust and rely on yourself the most. While these people could once upon a time lend you a helping hand, they have their own journeys to venture. Journeys that differ from yours, even if you manage to save them from a cruel fate. But don't take this as dismissing these people and isolating yourself. Instead, be thankful that the tools you use now are only so helpful and strong because you were able to make the connections that you did. Think back to what Laurentius said, and carry on that wish by staying alive and not going hollow.
Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go hollow.
I think the compatriots you meet throughout your journey serve as yet another motivating factor. You want to carry on their legacy and wish by fighting on and honoring their memory. Unless they're Lautrec.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? One hit away. He was one hit away. He was one hit away. That's infuriating. I'm gonna say it. It's infuriating. I don't know what this voice is.
This game's sick vibes are also perfect for when you're in a depressive mood or aesthetic. So overcoming such a tragic world also helps. But this part of the video is mostly just to appreciate the vibes of the game. Moving on, I think this game's sheer oppressive nature also nurtures a great mindset to have, not only as a way to get through the game, but to take in life as well. But first, I need to clear up a huge misunderstanding with this game. Dark Souls is not difficult. It's punishing. I know. If a game is hard, then it becomes the Dark Souls of whatever fucking genre it's a part of. It's really annoying at this point. If there's a game that came out after 2011, then it's probably been compared to Dark Souls. It's tiring. Dark Souls is the difficult game. Prepare to die! Ugh. If I know the controls and movesets of all characters in Smash Bros, but I still find it challenging to win against a level 9 CPU, that's because it's difficult. If I keep losing in chess because every time I move a piece my opponent has to correct me, that isn't difficulty, that's just me being a moron because I don't know the rules properly.
Bro.
What? Oh. I'll get punished if I make a bad move. Dark Souls is chess in this metaphor, by the way. This game and its world have rules to follow, and many deaths come from breaking those rules. The difficulty of this game comes from learning the rules, because again, the game tells you nothing.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
For example, you get punished for thinking groups of enemies will sink their attacks and wait around like in other games. You'll get punished for attacking an NPC thinking they won't stay mad at you. Remember, death in this game is canonical. You, the player, are not respawning, your character is resurrecting. NPCs know what you did and will stay pissed off at you no matter how much you die. But once you actually learn the rules, the difficulty of this game comes less from your world exploration and more from a new boss whose moveset you have yet to learn.
Bro, come on, stop edge walking.
After you've learned everything, all that's left for you to do is to hone your skill in timing dodges and attacks. That's difficulty.
There we go. Jesus fucking Christ. I really did just have to lock in. That was really funny.
This game's nature is Sisyphean. It'll constantly knock you down and you keep getting up, just to get knocked down again. It's punishment. Just like when Sisyphus was told to carry that boulder. But remember, failure is the greatest teacher there is. Every time you get knocked down, you learn something new. So when you get back up, you have something new to try that might prevent you from falling again. And why don't you look at that? You lived. Not because the game is easy, but because you learned the rules.
This game really isn't that hard. It's punishing. It's not hard. If you simply do what the game wants you to do. Excuse me. It's not that tough. So, I don't consider it hard, I consider it punishing. When you do fuck up, this game is really mean. You know? Dark Souls punishing? Yeah, basically. Yeah, OG Resident Evil can be punishing. But not hard. Again, punishing. If you go in, waste all your ammo, and shoot every fucking zombie you can see, you're gonna be punished. This game is punishing. I don't think it's hard. I've not had that much trouble difficulty-wise.
Anyway, now that that's out of the way, why don't we move on to my main point? The reason I made this video. This game's Sisyphean nature nurtures you into having a great mindset to have with both the game and life, that of undying perseverance. Because you're always learning new ways to not die in this game, you're always preparing for future situations, whether it be getting ganked, janky platforming, or going a long distance without a bonfire.
Boom. Fuck this fucking bonfire. Do you know how many times I died to get here? Too many. That's way too many. Way too many times. Fuck this fucking bonfire. Ooh. Ooh.
You are always preparing for some situation, whether it be always looking around corners after the first corner gank you were caught by, investing in a bow in case there's some fucker on a platform shooting you, or learning not to lock on in this game since the feature was made as a personal psyop against you. Yes, you, not me, you.
Motherfucker. I need to stop locking on. This isn't the other games. You dodge in 4 directions when you lock on. Skill issue on my part. I get it, guys. I'm bad at the game. This is just like my Hollow Knight review all over again. I'm sorry. I have no idea what that was.
You often succeed in the game through this perseverance, so of course you'll feel joy from it and be encouraged to prepare more. This is also an effective mindset to have for not just the game, but life as well. Think about it. Historical figures like Thomas Edison, Lincoln, Rosa Parks, Mandela, and Beethoven all succeeded in life through an undying perseverance. And you can succeed even further if you prepare accordingly. Again, think about it. People who invest get big money. That's some perseverance right there. People who go into college with a specific plan in mind tend to do better than those who are just thrust into it by their parents, despite not knowing what the fuck to do with their life. Thankfully, I've been working on a plan to counteract this. And when I succeed in life, it'll be thanks to an undying perseverance. So to conclude, while the other SoulsBorne games are great in their own right, this is the only one to take you on a journey like this, to teach you this lesson in such a meaningful way with such a poignant method. And it's through this method that your depression, your lethargy, your gloom, somberness, woes, whatever you call it, all of that will be burned away in the comfort of a bonfire. Until you fight the Capra Demon.
Holy shit. Bro, come on! Illusory wall ahead. Bet. What was that prompt? What was that prompt? You saw it. Ah, the infinite chest. The game works. The remaster works. Surprisingly well. It runs better than most.